LoreWarrior Aerotech, DARO-1 Dagger. Overview. By the end of the 3050s, the clan war had decimated the AFFS's Aero Corps. After almost a decade of unabashed spending on a new battlenet program, the AFFC had allowed the Corps' capabilities to wither even further. That all changed, though, in 3057, as following a disastrous encounter between the 1st Kestrel Grenadiers and Hell's Black Aces, the Grenadiers lost half their fighters to the newer designs flown by the mercenary company in the skies over Zurich. That loss rallied enough support and high command to begin a rapid modernization program, consisting not only of the purchase of upgraded fighters, but also brand new ones. Capabilities. Having looked to expand their business for years, Johnston Industries responded with what was then quite a radical concept, an omnifighter. Breaking new technological ground, Johnston had quite a few problems to overcome. They eventually delivered 4 prototype Daggers to the AFFC 2 years late. Carrying heavy armor protection and capable of great speed and maneuverability, the AFFC's Department of the Navy was impressed, and immediately placed orders that would carry Johnston into the next decade. Built around a rotary autocannon and a quartet of wing-mounted ER lasers, the primary Dagger configuration is designed to get in behind an enemy and tear it apart at close range. The Alpha variant eschews the ammunition-dependent autocannon and instead relies on a quartet of lasers tied into their new targeting computer. The most unusual variant is the Dagger B, which mounts an LB-10 autocannon and paired ER lasers in each wing and in the tail. Though not capable of the same punch as other variants, its autocannon's flechette ammunition can often end an atmospheric incident almost before it begins, with lucky hits to an enemy's canopy or engines. Deployment. The Dagger fought with distinction throughout the Fedcom Civil War. It was primarily assigned to the Syrtis Fusiliers and other Capella March-assigned units who rejected Archon Catherine's authority. The fighter found its way, however, into aero wings that fought on nearly every world within the Federated Suns. The Addix facility is working overtime to keep up with orders, while the new Syrtis division is finalizing repairs to its lines. So the Darrow Dagger is a 45-ton fighter. Its frame is the Johnston Rapier Mark VII. Power plant is the GM Superfusion 225XL. Armor is Calon Aeroweave Ferro Aluminium. Its armament is 18 ton of pod space, with manufacturer being Johnston Industries, as it says. Primary factories it's built on is Addix and New Syrtis. Its communication system is the Chattercom 224. Targeting and tracking is the RCA Instatrack Mark 19, yes. Obviously, one of the things I always kind of dislike, and this isn't specific to this book or this artist, is aerospace. Whenever they do this, they always do aerospace units flying sometimes, obviously, because it looks more dynamic, but it's always sometimes from a weird angle. So this one, we're seeing the jet from underneath, which is great, but what the fuck does the top or the front of it look like? You know, it's like trying to sell like a real-world aircraft to a military and going, look at it, look cool, huh? Does it look good? What do you think? It's just the underside of the plane. We kind of want to see it just, landed maybe, or from the top, or from a front angle. Yeah. Good idea. Didn't think about that. We will get right back to you as soon as we get that baby back up in the air and we take some aerial photographs. Yeah. All right, you hang on there, guys. You hang on there. It's just, yeah, it's always a bit weird. It's hard to sell me this fighter because I don't know what it properly looks like. I get an idea of the silhouettes, of course, but yeah, it's maybe a couple of pictures, something like that. But anyway, do it like an air recognition image or something like that from real military books. Sorry. Anyway, rant over or side thing over. Safe thrust is 7. Its max thrust is 11. It has 77 armor on the nose, 62 on the wings, and 50 on the aft. And it has 10 double heat sinks again. So as it says, the primary configuration is a nose-mounted rotary 5 with 60 rounds of fire, with 2 ER medium lasers in the right wing and 2 in the left wing, with an extra double heatsink. Now, the 60 rounds for the rack, it's not a huge amount of ammo, so it could very quickly run out of that ammo. So yeah, it's definitely one that needs to use its main punch to definitely get it with the best possible shot. on a target, that's for sure. The alpha configuration is a pair of ER mediums in the nose with a large in the right wing and a large laser in the left wing. Its targeting computer is just located in some place, and its 3 double heatsinks has 3 extra double heatsinks. And finally, the B configuration is the LB10 in the nose with 20 rounds of fire, so we're going to assume 10 and 10 on the ammunition load there, with 2 ER mediums in the right wing, 2 ER mediums in the left wing, and 2 rear-firing small lasers, all of them ER models. So that's not too bad. Obviously, that one is a bit more of your kind of general all-rounder, I think, because my reasoning for this is that the alpha configuration with the 2 large and the targeting view, that's one that gets to a decent distance from a target, and the targeting view is going to give you an advantage to hit, but it'll keep it at a safe distance. Whereas the B configuration is your infighter and is capable of engaging at range because the LB10's got a decent range to it. So it's also with the 2 ER and all of its weapons at ER, so it's probably a bit more of a medium range fighter. And then obviously your primary configuration is getting as close as humanly possible and just hold the trigger down on the rotary. A decent amount. It's clearly built more as a dogfighter than one that is built around the idea of any kind of ground support. Not that aerospace fighters, all configurations can't do ground support, of course. But yeah, this thing clearly has an emphasis on dogfighting, and yeah, that's pretty good. Because not every vehicle needs to be built for one particular role, of course. And, I mean, hell, this is 45 ton, and the armour is quite generous at 77, but obviously the armour has to be higher value compared to, say, mechs or tanks, because there's less places to hit for a start. And also the fact that when they do get hit, they will, more damage is generally always going to go to the nose or to the wings or to the aft of the aircraft, compared to mechs that can spread damage a lot more easily. So, yeah, it might sound like a lot of armor, but really it gets stripped very, very quickly. Yeah, Dagger's quite good, though. Nice unit for the Federated Suns to be wielding for any of those kind of scenarios you want to come up with. So, yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, listening, as always. I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, have a good week. Bye.